You're listening to Semi-Pro Gridiron Rant, where we talk semi-pro all the time. All the time. A football podcast dedicated to you, the semi-pro athletes, coaches, team owners, and fans. You're welcome. And now, your host, Ken Anderson.
Well, all right. Welcome back to another edition of Semi-Pro Gridiron Rant. I'm your host, Ken Anderson. Appreciate you joining us today after a week off of some technical issues here. And they kind of continued as my guest and I have already done this once today. So he's been gracious enough to give me a second opportunity here to try to get this thing in again. So we tried it on the week of Halloween, which was his birthday. We were having issues. So here we are again today, crash on. So maybe it's Halloween. I don't know. Maybe it was that full moon. Who knows what the hell is happening? But here we are. So without further ado, let's welcome in my man, Tex Hamilton. Hey, Tex, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well in yourself.
Good, buddy. Appreciate you joining us again. And so what I like to do is we're gonna share your story from the beginning. So I know when we tried this originally, we went all the way back to your junior high days to kind of set the stage. So let's start there and kind of tell us, obviously the name Tex tells us where you're originally from, but let's go from there.
Okay, born in Brooklyn, around 5, I went to Texas with my aunt and my uncle, and first grade through the 7th grade. So like football is king in Liberty, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It's king. And in the 7th grade, they broke us up into 4 teams. Because that's the other places had Pop Warner and younger football. Liberty County, you'd have to go to like Cleveland.
Okay.
Something miles away. Blood, sweat, tears, and guts. I was on blood. I was a quarterback. Split rear option. I was a quarterback. Then I got switched to guts. Well, they wanted me to be a running back. They switched me and Stacy Davis, which eventually became the quarterback for high school for them and all that.
Okay.
I guess they
Davis.
seen something. Maybe I
Okay.
didn't have. So after that year, my brother and sister, which are both older, moved back to Brooklyn. So I didn't want to do it myself, so I went also to culture shop, like Home Alone and Color Coke and stuff. I used to see these kids every summer. I'd go up for the summer while school was out.
Mm-hmm.
We got out early. We got out early. We got out in May. Like Texas, we got out in May. We went back in August. So we everybody was in school during the day. And about the time they didn't get out like June sometimes. So but I knew a lot of these kids. I grew up with them over the years, and now here, and it's culture shock. Because like I say, you got these blocks. Like we lived in the projects, but our school was, 3 blocks over. I lived on Saratoga. We got Hopkinson. It was on Hopkinson. Now I think it's Thomas Boylan. It's on Hopkinson. I lived on Prospect. It's Prospect, St. Mark's, Bergen, and Dean. The address says Dean, but it's between Bergen and Dean. We entered on Bergen side. So that's our school, and it's like a whole different atmosphere. It's our whole project there, but it's a lot of people you don't know. It's like a lot of people from Kingsborough. Yeah, that was another spot where my grandfather would live. I knew them because that's where I was born in that area. Mm-hmm. And like it's the meeting of all these, like a melting pot of all these different neighborhoods. I never really had college except for the time I got caught with the meeting. So really no football for the 8th grade.
Okay.
9th grade, go to Thomas Jefferson. Well, actually, I wanted to go to Eli Whitney.
So I was going to ask you this earlier, and I forgot to ask. So, like when I moved to Florida, the thing that shocked me was the families can pick what school they go to, right? Where in New York, at least upstate, as you know, you're pretty much locked by landmass where you can go unless you go to private school. So, is the city the same way, or can you kind of pick?
Same way. You're giving a book of available schools, the criteria, yada yada yada. So I wanted to go to Eli Whitney. I want to go to Eli Whitney, but I got chicken pox right before the test. So for like the last 6 weeks, I wasn't even allowed in school.
Oh,
I
wow.
wasn't allowed to cross the stage, and I I had to go to my zone school, which was Thomas Jefferson.
Okay.
Yay! So me and a guy from across the street, we really wasn't friends at the time, but we knew each other. But we clicked up, both actually being around each other. Derek Lee, he's actually an Israelite now. Like if you ever see the people standing like in Times Square, like talking really loud and screaming at, at different people, he's probably one of them.
He's wonderful.
Anyway,
Okay.
anyway, we went down for football and they time you. That's how they basically dictate where you're gonna play. You run the 40, okay, you're here, you're here. I know it was faster than me, but I ran faster that day. So I was fullback, he was on the line. Mind you, I think that I was bigger than him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Thomas Jefferson. It's culture shock. My first day in real school. I knew a lot of people, but now you got to think, you know this many. Now you're going to a school, this
Right.
you don't get to see everybody that you know, and you see them, you trying to let them know that you know somebody that, oh my God. So, like I say, the first real day in school, one of the coconuts, coconut one, coconut two. Coconut two,
Now,
we
is that a
got
code name, like a gang name? What was Coconut?
coconut because they was Jamaicans.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's derogatory.
There you go.
But that's the name that they was given from the football team. Everybody had a nickname.
Gotcha.
Just like the country drawl, they gave me the name Tex.
Wow. So that's stuck. So I see. I got a nickname in high school that stuck all my life too. So that's kind of interesting. So you in junior high. So you get Tex. Now I thought it was something maybe from the South that came up with you, but in reality, it was in Brooklyn and they assigned it to you at that point.
It was when I came back and you got this. Some people say you can still hear like certain words. You can hear like a mild drawl or something. But
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm so anyway, ninth grade, we're sitting there and it's like homeroom or something, and three guys come in and so they sit my coconut and we see your ring. Why he took it off, I don't know. He gave it to him. He never got it back. I learned a valuable lesson.
Don't take anything off you don't plan on ever getting back.
Yeah, yeah. And if you didn't have juice, there's certain things you shouldn't do anyway. Okay, so now ninth grade, playing football, and I think I made my way up. Like say my first day that we actually put on pads, they ran out of jerseys, so I don't have a jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And ran the wishbone. I'm the fullback, and the starting linebacker and starting fullback was Coconut One. I dove like a 30. I dove, there's Coconut. Pow! Like two rams. And you just see him like fall back, boom, keep running. I had a jersey next practice.
So you ran him over.
Yeah, I had a jersey. And,
Nice,
and
nice.
I went up to it like that, getting those first reps really fast. But,
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, it was a sparse season for freshmen. Won a whole lot of games. I remember playing at not out there. I can't even remember the name. Midwood. We played at Midwood. We played Midwood. We played a couple other games, but it was like ninth grade. It's like I don't know. It was like an introduction. It wasn't like a real season. But still football.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like say, at the end of the season, Old Finkelstein, which is pretty, he might be in the high school Hall of Fame. You can look him up. Big name in high school football in New York City. Mo Finkelstein got us jobs, summer jobs, and my summer job was in Cypress Hill. I had my aunt live in Cypress Hill, and so like it's kind of like they got like a really bad rep. They got a terror dome. You got Cypress Hills, pink houses, Lincoln Plaza. Um, ah, so I got cool. Got to meet a few guys. Got to meet a few of the people that were in the streets out there. So, I was all right. Never really out. But now we're supposed to go lift every so often. And for me, being out there, because like say, Cypress Hills is not too far from the field if you got a car, if you got a bike.
Right.
But now I take a bus or the train to work. Then I'd have to take, because it's the 14th, I have to take the Sutter bus over to like Ashford, walk all the way down, or go all the way up to Pennsylvania and take the 20 down, or catch the 83 to Van Center. This is the mess. So I didn't do a lot of lifting during the off season.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came back to play the next year, they let me play.
Because you didn't make it to the gym.
Look, it's a hassle getting.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I'd said earlier this morning.
It's a hassle getting here. I mean, it's like a hassle.
Yeah. What I said earlier in the morning was is coaches, use your head. These kids are trying to stay off the streets, and you're telling them they can't play. You're just putting them back in the streets and back into trouble. The dude hop buses and trains and planes and automobiles and hitchhike. No, he didn't literally hitchhike, but just about get everything he can to get there to work out. And you're busting his chops and you throw him back in the streets. You wonder why these dudes turn. Have a little bit of common sense and a little bit of leniency.
That was my key to the street. That was me. I tested the streets coming up, but I mean, I wanted to do this. I had aspirations. So, 10th grade, I wind up fighting. We had a big fight with the football team because you had to be somebody to walk down the long hallway. You had to come in to. It was like a big, two entrances. Then had a long hallway, and once you got your lunch, you couldn't walk back down that hallway. It was like an unwritten rule. You were nobody on that hallway. And you couldn't leave. They had to keep, like I say, once you got in our school, you couldn't leave.
Mm-hmm.
No one came in after, like the latest you come in was homeroom, but you had to have like a serious excuse. You had to have like, you had to give blood to get in, because as it was like 2 times to get in, like first period, second period, then there was homeroom. If you didn't get in one of those 2, you didn't get in.
Wow.
I mean, you might as well just go home.
They just lock the doors and call it a day. Yikes. Okay. So you're getting this brawl, right? In 8th grade.
Huge brawl. Started off on the 4th floor, and I chased the guy down to the 1st floor, and to get there, this pandemonium. And we're just going at it. So I pull a guy off of my man, and I get punched in the eye by my friend that I helped. I never forget it.
So you thought was a friend at the time, anyway.
Yeah. Well, I seen him years later. We were suspended a couple days. My mother, who was OBR at the time, Office of Vocational Rehabilitation, and now it's like that's a vocational education students or something. She worked there. She did her 40 years. She retired, but she came in with this youth internship training program that was at BNCC. So I could go hang out at the college. You know what I mean? Actually, right down by the Twin Towers, like a stone's throw from the Twin Towers. You got to see them every day. 199 Chambers Street. So I did an internship at PAL, and they teach you public speaking and all that. How not to use your hands, how not to use articles, how to eye contact, how to all that stuff. And they once you pass your GED, they help you train your GED. If you scored high to any SUNY or CUNY school, it was nothing about pavement. We still like pavement. got automatic admission. You're granted admission
Hmm.
if you scored high enough. It was like some type of program for innocent kids that, like I said, that might need a leg up, but they show promise. You show promise by scoring high on the test. So I scored well.
And
Actually,
SUNY
like
for
I
the
said,
non-New York.
I was tired. I wanted to get out of here.
Right. And SUNY for the non-New York folks listening to the show is State University of New York. And it's basically they've got great schools. A lot of schools are specialize in teaching, accounting, some pretty good careers. But if you are a New Yorker, you kind of get a discount. And business management, yeah, is another one. Yeah. So you get a discount, plus they will accept a little bit lower grades from those that are in state opposed to those that are applying from out of state. So just want to throw that in there for SUNY. And then you'd also said you had, what's the other one? CUNY, and I forget, how do you pronounce that one?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay, yeah. So, but that's
CUNY.
CUNY
And CUNY is just a city.
Okay, so it's a city version. Okay, so that was an opportunity.
NYU was pretty prestigious.
Oh, was it?
So mind you, I'm 16. I'm not thinking about no damn school. Not not thinking about going to college. I barely made it here. So but after like once a week, I'm getting pulled in by the truant officers. Truant officers. My only ID is my summer youth card, and after about the fourth time, I'm getting pulled into the truant officer. And you're going through the whole system. Before they realize, okay, yeah, you can let it go. About the fourth time, I started carrying my diploma. Okay, look, hey, I'm good. I'm good. Leave me alone.
Right.
But I screwed it. Like couldn't find a job. 16. Yeah, I did work at the crazy place. It's Mill Basin. It's right the backside of King's Plaza. It's all the way down Avenue U around, and it's a country club. It's a country club. They did like bar mitzvahs and stuff. It was like a really posh place, pretty nice. But now at night, you had to walk past the bowling alley. We had to kind of run this.
Sprint past the bowling alley.
You got calls and big bottles smashing and stuff. So I can't even try to describe to you how long Avenue U is going from what's that, Remsen, Kings Plaza. But we had to run a good. Now the bowling alley. We got called some pretty colorful things, and they would throw some things. You got to go all the way down Avenue U to get to Kings Plaza so we can get the bus to go home, because all the dollar vans and stuff were done by then.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I went back to high school, went to an alternative high school, because it really no work, and might as well. I didn't think it would take long, probably about a year, something like that. So I got into writing with Irene Cassione. Taught me about writing and foreshadowing in movies, and actually broadened my horizon. Like I said, I wrote a book called Highlights. I can't find it now. I'm still looking when I got nothing to do. I go in. It's a collection of haikus, poems, short stories, and some art.
Did you have a pen name? So if we were Google the hell out of it, do you have a pen name?
Well, I put a bunch of stuff in, and she it was like Rhino Production. They were calling me Rhino at the time. This is mother being just stupid, It's been like a pen name because I just not on anyway. But yeah, Irene Cassione. So I got a reader's diploma, and now I'm looking for work. I want work, and I work at McDonald's. I work at McDonald's. Thinking $7.50. Met Al Roker working at my McDonald's. At the Peak School at the time. Met Al Roker. And then I moved back home. Moved back to Brooklyn. And it's like kind of like Coach again.
Mm-hmm.
About 20 somewhere in there now, and we playing football. We got our own little football team. We are. This, no.
Is this padded or is this like street?
This was the. What was that? Hold on. First, it was the whip sticks.
Mm-hmm.
I was 21 with the whip sticks. The whip sticks was the team by Coach Breeze in Brooklyn that played at Boys and Girls High, Boys and Girls High, and me, Tony, Pledge, and myself all played on the team. Both of them are now deceased. Tony's brother had a body shop, and so we did our helmets up really nice. And, like we were like standing out in helmets. So the first day we showed up to practice, they threw me, Tony, and myself over with the heavier guys, and Pledges over there with the corners and stuff, and they made us go at it. Like, what do they call it?
I call it skull crusher, right? Where you usually line up helmet to helmet like this, or sometimes you'll do a distance, but I call it skull crusher. But there's probably a more official name for it than that one.
As long as we both know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
But what they did is they gave one person the ball each time.
Mm-hmm.
First time he came, I think he had the ball first. We came, it's like we hated each other. No, and we like we had this thing like this like if you ever seen a tattoo of arm, this spiking, that was our lifestyle.
Okay.
And we just hit the forearms and stuff. Then it's my turn. It's like you would think we hated each other. It's like it's the game. This is what we do.
Right.
Then the last time we all yelled like we hyped up the whole team.
Well, that's a good drill for that. That's a great drill for that because the problem is I'm pretty sure most states have outlawed that drill now. So, but it was a great drill. That's actually when I was a freshman. That's actually how I got my starting role because I ran through like 10 dudes I was a linebacker, and I joined late for my parents suspended me for stupid stuff. But so I joined the team late, and we're doing the skull crusher. And first guy up, boom, I lay him out. Coach is like, "Oh, can you do that again?" Boom, next guy lay him out. So they run like half the team through me, and he's like, "All right, dude, you're playing linebacker." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So that's a great drill, but I'm pretty sure that's outlawed in most states now.
I remember we were playing this team called the Outlaws, and I was center, number 60. I was center, and only reason I was center because I could get the ball. It was a big dude. I mean, he was big. He couldn't hike the ball. It was a 260 and under league, from what I understood. I found out later, but he was bigger than 260. But
somehow he forgot to put a leg on the scale or something.
Whole half his body. So I could hike the ball, and that's how I became the center. And I remember we were playing the Outlaws. I had played skin and bone with a lot of the Outlaws, like regular play, and the interception. So they got a convoy coming. I'm like, I'm never going to get to this guy. So I'm running for that. No one sees me. I'm on full speed. I'm going to take out the first person, and boom! With the most wickedest air hole shot you ever seen in your life, and it's like it veered the whole thing out.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was their starting linebacker. He I bumped into him when that Brooklyn team came up to play the Vipers that was on TV. The Storm, it was on TV.
Was it the Mariners? Brooklyn Mariners? It's usually Mariners or Seminoles are usually the two.
Giant. They look like Giants or something.
Huh.
We were on TV, but they came up looking so sloppily. We lost that cable deal after that. It was like no more TV. It was it was like channel 10 or whatever. So after that fizzled out, we did a lot of skin and bone. And we were Saratoga Hackers. Rest in peace to all the Hackers. like Aga, Chuck, Pledge, Eli, Elijah. Those are the ones I can think of. Tone. It's kind of rough. We held down Lincoln Terrace. That was our home turf. We played at Betsy Head. Betsy Head probably pools bigger than you can see it from Google Maps.
It's that big. Couple city blocks, huh?
Yeah, you can see it's like a block.
Wow.
Yes. You couldn't go there playing around either. If you went there with nice shoes, you might not have left it. Yeah.
Show up with 10-year-old sneakers and pray something else doesn't get taken from you.
Yeah, I remember scooping my stuff up on the run and ran right out of there. It was getting rough. Like, I know about time I get my people together, it's gonna be hell. And there, right out of it.
The difference of city ball versus country ball, right?
Well, this is pool. This is pool.
Oh, at the pool. Sorry.
So city ball. Well, that was the whip sticks. It was like kind of unorganized, but I really didn't have to pay no money. I don't know what the hell happened. I played for another team later, but it was just like some cats put the team together, and I played with a lot of them on the whip sticks. And I remember playing up at 145th and 145th and Lenox. There's a park right there. If you look at Google Maps, as the bridge is going over to the Bronx, there's a park right there. We played there, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more, and I'm running on there because I'm just something. And I looked when I looked, there's a guy right there. He hit me now like a helicopter. Landed right on my tailbone. My butt hurt for weeks. Never forget it. But that didn't happen anymore. One of the guys, we played in another park uptown. I can't remember exactly where it was, but my man used to talk to little kids. True, that song was out. Ain't that right? Ooh, true. Yeah, little kid.
So what so that's a bunch of your city experience. What gets you up to CNY?
CNY. It was I had a license, I had a driver's license, and people needed to come up here to actually they were going to Auburn prison to visit someone.
Okay.
And I was basically the only one that they knew had a license. And so I drove them up. And I took them back. On the way back, I got arrested. Come to find out my license was suspended.
Oh, geez.
So I'm like, how the hell is my license suspended? I've never had a ticket in my life. And never had a ticket in my life. It's like, well, it's suspended. We're talking cordially. Like, oh, well, do you own a car? I was like, yes, I own two. Like, well, you pay the insurance? It's like, one, I ain't paying on the other one. My car didn't work. 1980 Cadillac Coupe de Ville, first car. He's like, well, did you turn the plates? I'm like, turn the plates? You got the plates in? Like, yeah, I just stepped. So I stepped out. Get out of the whoa. Like, it was just, okay. By the time they finished, there's cop cars all over the place. They taking off hubcaps. They checking the air filter. Wow.
Oh, because was this when you said this was when you're headed back from upstate?
Yeah.
Well,
I used to wear like a little bit of jewelry. And
the Mr. T starter kit.
Yeah. But and we had Motorola flip phones. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I remember those days.
We got about 3 of them, but the batteries didn't last long. We got about 6 batteries in the car, and at the time, service was awful down at 17. And we all had stuff to do. I went to a show at Newark Symphony Hall with MOP and met a lot of people. Someone named Hassan. Wanted to see. I'm coming. I'm on my way home. MOP, Gravediggers, Keith Murray. MOP, Gravediggers, Keith Murray, and Biggie. Yeah, that was the show. Met so many rappers that night. But anyway, this is how I got up. So went to jail, came back, went to court. Oh, got all
Now,
that.
jail in the city or jail in Auburn?
Monticello.
Okay.
Monticello. But it was just cool. I could. They bailed me out. Went out. Had to go to Liberty. They kept the bail for the ticket, and I'm done. So I came back to Auburn, and I left once. I left one summer. Went down to North Carolina for a little while, and then I wind back up to Syracuse,
Okay.
Auburn
area. Yep.
And it wasn't my best friend at the time, but one day something about football, because I was going to come up to live. So I'm thinking like skin and bone, skin and bone football, because I know they played. We played them. We had some Brooklyn cats come up, and we played them in football. So they're like, nah, no football, okay. So when time came around, we went to go for the Storm.
Dave Sturpey in the Storm, and that was what year? Was that 96? 96. Okay.
Mind you, my friend was probably one of the premier backs in the area at the time.
And this is Len, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Len Hamilton was, I think he was my age, maybe a year.
Now we didn't say I'm a year older now. We're the same age. So he's 51 right now.
Okay, so he's a couple years old. So because I was running indoor track and he was running indoor track, and this cat lines up for the indoor 100 meters, and this cat crushed the field. And guys, he's like 220 pounds at the time. I don't know how big he was, but he was a man. He was a man, dude. And he crushed the field. I'm just watching him run. I'm like, I mean, I've heard of him in the newspapers and stuff, right? He played for Baldwinsville, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was crushing people. And I'm like, this dude, huge dude and fast as hell. The only other guy I've ever seen like that was Dorsey.
Well, I heard the stories. I've never seen him play, and I didn't see it. And now my legs broke, and we're in Meriden, Connecticut. We're playing Connecticut, and their defense is pretty stout, pretty tough. So we went to a wishbone. Had Trent Patterson as fullback, Roy Willis, who played for SU, and Leonard is the other back. That was the first time I seen what he could do. They dove to the right. Trent got to go black. Roy got to go black. I see the concept. Oh, he could play, but still with a lot of scoring because they put the next back in and he fumbled. That happened twice. Like, y'all gotta leave that back alone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're gonna even put him on Front Street, but yeah, you gotta leave him out of the game.
Yeah, that dude was fast. Like I said, him and the only other person I remember seeing, well, Mike Hart, but Mike Hart dominated differently. He wasn't overpowering. Those two dudes were men amongst boys. I mean, Dorsey and Len were just men amongst boys, where Mike Hart was more of a fast, shifty, athletic freak, right? So I remember those two growing up. So Len's one of your best boys. You share last name, right? Which we always said your brother, and I always, I pretty much took it to heart. Dude, was your brother at that point, but yeah. So 96, you break your leg, you miss the season.
Before that, we go to a Storm practice, the first Storm practice.
Oh, right.
And Sturpey, after practice, Sturpey approaches me. Well, we're not going to need you to do go over to offensive. We're going to play on offense. I'm like, so what? Basically, he's trying to cut me, but I see you next. So I sat down and had a brand new pack of 100, 25 pack of 100. Newport. Smoked my last cigarette that day. I haven't smoked since. That was in '96.
I was gonna say I've never seen you smoke, so I've seen a lot, and
That
you're
was
pretty
90
well into fitness, so it kind of shocked me that you smoke.
Yeah, that was in '96, and I did what the way the program read through sheer determination made the roster. That was in the program. I'll see if Scott got it now. I'll show you.
Is that what it says? Sheer determination.
Yeah. I played in every game until I broke my leg up in Canada. Bruce scored on a punt, and after he crossed the goal line, he hit the ground and fumbled. The guy picked it up, and I go to run. Ref's right near me. I go to run, and the guy hits me square in the back of the helmet, and I stepped. I didn't know it was broken at the time. It just felt like you just like something like rubbing.
Uh-huh.
And the trainer came out. She's like, "Go get somebody to carry you off." Now I walked off, and they put me in a splint. Gotta go. Well, you can't go to the hospital there unless you got full payment. So a couple Tylenol 3s and some Molson Triple X.
Self-medicated.
University.
Self-Canadian medication right there.
Yeah, they put me in a cast, split it, then wrapped it, and I had to make it to arm. Actually, I had to wait till the next morning because I had no way to get from the hospital home. So I had to hospital in the morning. And so I wind up. So they scheduled surgery, and I get surgery. They gave me an epidural, so I'm recovering like a recovery room. I wake up, there's Richie Strong. like I'm hungry. He would brought me some chocolate bars.
My boy, Rich Strong. I still talk to that dude online. He's a good dude, man. He was one of my favorite dudes on the team. He's a
So
good guy.
never forget that. So after I got out of the hospital, I still didn't miss practice.
Showed up for every practice, broken leg and all.
Still didn't miss games. And I was kind of loud on the sideline. I was,
No, you?
Just a wee bit. I was loud on the sideline. And I got a trophy from Randy that year. Actually, I didn't make it. I don't know where I was, but I had a shirt made with me on it, and he gave me a trophy for Mr. Football.
Very cool.
Mr. Football.
Sometimes that's better. Sometimes that's better than play. They're just so. One thing we haven't really talked about much is basically the majority of your career you're a role player, right? So,
yeah.
and you're not missing practices. You're always upbeat.
I was never. I wasn't good. I'm never. I was not. Especially then, I was not good. I just had the wanting to play. I had to. I want to play.
Well, plus
tackle.
Well, plus the position you were playing as you got older.
Linebacker at the time.
Right. So as you got older, you convert to offensive line, and obviously, you're a little undersized for offensive lineman, 5'8".
Yeah.
Listen, his body's undersized, but his heart determination and technique isn't. So that's what allowed him to succeed. But what I really want to touch base on and bring to light here is this cat played a lot of years, and this includes back to even his high school days, where he's more of a role player. He's not the superstar that it's easy to come to practice or easy to show up for games when you're the superstars. But when you're a role player, why did you keep coming back? Why did you keep
I love the game. I mean, yeah. I love the game, and like my friends would be like, "You're not even playing." I'm like, I got it. I mean, because you're not a starter. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. You're not me. I mean, I enjoy this. I'm out there when I can. I'm sitting there when it's third down, with my helmet buckled. Mm-hmm. And if one of y'all not there fast enough, I'm gonna be out there before they can pull me off. I mean, like that. They look at that like, oh, well, y'all can say what you want to say. I enjoy this, I would want like I said, I would want me rather than the superstar that thinks everybody owes him.
I'd rather have 20 of you on the roster than, like you said, 5 or 6 superstars that don't come to practice, or, and I will say this from the coaching standpoint, you were easy to coach. I mean, it was, you didn't give me a hard time. We would talk, like I said, we would have discussions after practice or after games.
Yeah, like
You never tried showing up a coach or a player or anything like that in the middle of the game.
not what you do. That's not the way that you're taught.
Right.
Like, say, if you want to do that, you need to coach. You need to, and then you still don't want to do it like that. There's ways to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, after the Vipers, after the Storm came the Vipers.
Came the Vipers, yep.
With their 35 jersey deal.
That's right. They limited the roster to 35. Now they had 50. Like, I remember my first year, they had 50 dudes, right?
Yeah.
So
they're going to suit up 35 people, X
right.
amount offense, X amount defense, and fillers. And only one time I was that one of those 35, and just once. And that game, Capital and Thunder was sliding to the right. I'm the tackle. And I don't know if everyone slid before, but for some reason the tackle's not outside of me this time. He's lined up on me. So if we're sliding to the right, he's not my problem anymore. He's the man inside problem. He's the guard's problem.
Right.
So as we slide, he jukes the guard. There's nobody outside me, mind. There's no imminent danger. There's nobody that can come out of that can fall out of the sky and run that way. So I peel back and I knock them down. The guard said, "Thank you." They took me out of the game and I didn't put it over. When the guard could have influenced Johnson to be like, "Yo, it wasn't anything." Actually, I saved it. I saved the play. But anyway, I played in every game. Like I didn't have a jersey, but like, like if you pull something, if you hurt something, if you any reason why you couldn't play anymore, I'm stripped. You don't need to
give me that.
Yeah, everybody looked at it. I don't care how you looked at it. I enjoy this.
Right.
This is what I enjoy. Like, no, I'm not a starter. Yes, I'll take what I can get. But what it did do, it fueled me to be better. Jerome Hall, I'll never forget. This is with the Storm. Coach, I'm coming to practice. This is talk time. This is not, me and him. Coach, I'm coming to practice. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Blah, 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 blah. He turned. You got to get better. What do you say to that?
Yes, sir.
You got to get better.
Right. What more can you say?
Yeah. So Vipers go. I still do what I can, when I can. I think it was 2003. They didn't field the team. And why don't you go over to the Express? I'm barely playing here. I'm stealing jerseys. Like, nah. And I lost my job. My job that I had, the driving trucks that I used to bring to practice. I lost that job, so I started working out. Started working a lot. Benched almost every other day. I was decently strong, but never really working out. I had never really worked out before. So that was, I think it was 35, 36 when I started working out. And 2004, they won the chip. I decided to come out 2005. So I'm practicing. It's like, yeah, I'm on this first rotation. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, first scrimmage. 11 people showed up that I had not seen in almost months of practice and started. Not only did they
Semi-Pro ball,
they started. Every semi-pro team that I played on, that was something they tried to get away from.
It's hard. I tried that with us, and I think for the most part I did it, but on occasionally you would get a dude that's like Hey, I'm out of town. Like Flash. If Flash is out of town, what are you gonna do? Bench him? I mean, you know, what do? It's so you just try to weed out. I mean, remember, I benched dudes for not paying their jersey money. LB, I had bench them, made an example out of them.
Funny you
Sometimes,
bring that up.
what's that? Funny, I
God,
bring that up.
God bless the dead Greg Portsmouth.
Oh, God bless. It wasn't for him, I would never play. That's Syracuse Express owner, first team I ever played for.
2005, I wrote a play, right? So, mind you, my money got to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not one of these superstars, you got to pay them. You gonna pay that money. Every time he see me, hey, he talk, he's real cordial about it, but I know you want your money. Yeah, take your money. That's your money.
He's slow playing the pay me. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Yeah, that's basically what it was. But I mean, even after I paid, he's always talking, and he sold me some high top Converse cleats. I don't know what happened to them, but I love them. They were real high tops,
Mm-hmm.
like mid shin high tops. They're almost like dress shoe high.
They're way up there.
2005. I thought I deserved more playing time. No, I still wasn't a great athlete, but I also believe that there was nobody on that field that was better than me once they was tired. So if we're in a tight game, we didn't have a whole lot of them, but if we were in a tight game and you've exhausted all of your O lineman replacement with the D lineman and everybody else, and I did this. Your line coach comes over to the sideline. This is me. Are there any linemen? I need an O lineman. Any O lineman out there? I need an O lineman.
Yo, right? What? Right here.
I'm not exaggerating one bit. Then fourth quarter, we're driving against this thing, and one of the guys that never showed up at practice is there. He beat the hell out of his helmet. You got to stand there. He needs right now. I get that. I get that. But there were other times that I felt that I should have been in it. I mean, if it's a play, give me a spell. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, fourth down, number 80, DN, hard outside move, cut back in, smack the shit out of Reds. Bam! Red got up, he had so much side in his face mask, and I'm cheering. I'm cheering as loud as I can. Game over. That was fourth down. Game over. I'm cheering as loud as I can. And we get out the parking lot. It's told me that I can't get in because the quarterback says if he put me in, he quits. Okay. So you're letting players dictate who you put on the field. Okay. So as a coach, you want me to coach, that can never happen. Now, if a coach wants to dictate or tell me, like an offensive coordinator, head coach, if you want to call that shot, that's your shot. I mean,
right.
I'm under you, but I'll try to explain to you why this should happen or shouldn't happen, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
If you're putting me with these guys, I should have a little more intel from what you're seeing. You have this is what you think should be. Let me work with it. You know what I mean? Okay.
Well, let's be honest. Prior to me getting there, that team, from the outside looking in, did have some influences outside of the coaching staff that determined who could and couldn't play. And when I got there and started changing some of the stuff, some of those people thought I was insane and that I shouldn't be doing that.
I'll tell you something about you in a minute. Okay.
Oh boy, I always love it when they pull out something that. Hey Kenny, by the way,
I'll tell you something about you in a minute. Okay, 2005. Okay, so now I'm still working out. I'm trying to get better. So 2006, they started the indoor team.
Yep.
Now I'm pretty much going to play. I can't even say I'm going to be a star. I'm pretty much going to play. a lot of our people have gone to
Like
this.
Hanky and Scott and I think Dom. Did Dom play?
Levon,
Oh, Levon, right? Yep.
Dom, a lot of them went and played. So yeah, I'm going to get some playing now. And so I'm playing left tackle. And I think I did fairly well, not the best, but I protected the backside. So the damn Leonard will just grab the back of my pads and pull me down. We play Buffalo. Gorman's playing with Buffalo. Gorman was that offensive coach,
Okay.
that line coach. And all I just told him, look, I can play. I can play this. No, I'm not great, but I can play this. So they got this guy, like I said, he looked like Adonis, number 52. I don't know, but hell of an athlete. And I know I gave up at least one sack, maybe two. But when I tell you, the sacks were like
10-second
throw the
count.
ball. like he counted out.
Right.
Throw the ball. Like, man. So I mean, so after the game, we all get together. I seen Gorman. I told you I could play this. Like it's not even like it was a ill feeling, but I can play. 2007, 8. Basically pretty much the same, but I think that I'm getting better. Yeah, I'm getting better as time goes on.
Well, you're getting stronger. You're getting better shape. All this is coming along too.
So let's go to it had to be 2000 to 2010.
2010 is when I came in as the OC.
I brought Dom in. So Hard Dog was the coach.
Yes,
Greg.
Coach Greg. Yep.
Great. I asked Dom to come work out with me. We were doing CrossFit now. Now we're on the CrossFit. I was doing strength and conditioning, and the trainer, J&M Fitness, Josh Mello, he taught me much about what I know about fitness, and he morphed to CrossFit. I was his guinea pig. And like I can call him today, and he will help me do whatever he can. He still trains kids like Dave Clark and I told you said his name earlier.
Jeff Weaver. Jason Weaver. Sorry, Jason Weaver.
He made them so much better.
Right. So, and Dave Clark, just so y'all know, he was like a few years deep when I played as a rookie in '93. This dude played up to like 50, and he's not an offensive lineman. He's a damn running back.
Yeah.
So the guy's taking a pounding, one of the most physically fit dudes I've seen. Even back then when he was late 30s, a tailback, he kept himself in pretty good shape. To hear that he went to CrossFit and got even more in shape is kind of crazy.
Well, he was going to Josh prior to me. They was doing more of the strength and conditioning.
Oh, okay.
Like even his sons, Shaitan and the other one. Showtime, watch out there, not Showtime. They, he would periodically come and do the same thing. So like this guy, me and Dom, we're going, and he basically challenged us to eat this way. We're losing 10 pounds a week.
Wow.
Like, yeah, we're losing 10 pounds a week. Like,
I remember this now that you say it. I remember you two squaring up on and losing weight and getting in shape. I remember that.
Like getting tired wasn't even a thing. Like, I didn't get tired. Like, I would play wherever we played. I'd play that Saturday night, come back, play football Sunday morning. I didn't have to come off the field if I didn't have to. I mean, okay, we got in. Hard Dog, Coach Greg said he had this camera crew coming. They wanted him to follow me around for a day. Okay, whatever. Thanks. What is this
Oh,
guy?
this is my NFL.
This is my pro.
This is my pro. Yeah, yeah.
It was supposed to be basically about football, and it kind of morphed. He followed me for the day and saw what my regiment was and all that. Like, I thought it was gonna be some like little cheesy video.
So
When
it's
I
kind of
saw,
like a vlog, right? It was like kind of like a vlog, a video blog.
when I saw that, I was like, well, I still watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why can't this motivate me? Like, why can't I be this guy right now? That 2010, I moved to center because I had lost a whole lot of weight. I think I
Right.
could move my body at guard.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I didn't think I could. So I went to center because we really, no one was there for center. Me and Scott used to go back and forth at center. But
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know, like say, I didn't know why they didn't put a nose guard there. The whole game would change if you just put a nose guard there. Because if you look, that helmet right there, one of them helmets, I was crushing Glenn Falls linebacker. I was eating him. I would listen. Said I yield. Poof. Then sprint. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I remember playing. This was Albany now, and Swerve broke out. I'm right behind, trying to get a block. Like say, so you got this pretty fast running back. I'm in the frame. I'm in the frame the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Or Glenn Falls blocking. So I'm blocking this linebacker all the way down. It's like, look, you too far down the damn field.
As long as it is a pass play, there's no such thing, right?
There was a run. This is where we were earlier. Hampton Roads, Virginia. Hampton Roads.
Hampton Roads, yes. This was so for you all that don't know, Hampton Roads to this day is the most exciting game I've ever been a part of, whether it's a player, whether it's a coach, whether just watch. This was a back and forth battle. They were undefeated. We were undefeated. This was a national tournament game. And one thing I wanted to say was there was a dude, the game on the line, but anyway, there's like 50 seconds left. We're losing. They just scored. And there's a kid on special teams who's flexing to our sideline going, we're the undefeated killers. We're the undefeated killers. Well, he didn't realize we had Flash Gordon on our team. Long story short, it's a hell of a game. But go ahead and tell they didn't beat us, by the way. Go ahead.
Probably the best D lineman I have ever faced. Forgive me for not remembering his name right now. Number 77. He's my friend on Facebook. He's also, well, they're not the Redskins anymore.
Right. Yep. Hampton Road. They were there. They changed their name a couple times.
Well, I'm talking about
the team formerly known as.
Yeah. So like the first play, he's like the game, and then he stopped. So it's a word play. I go to chop him. Oh, this big dude, come on. But he shoots the wrong way. Okay. Pass like, oh, wow, okay. He's not getting off the line. Like, when I tell you, I say he's the best defensive lineman I played against, they were using him wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they just wanted to keep me off the linebackers. I'd love to see that film. But anyway.
I can't find it. That's a film I'd love to find. I wonder if Greg has it. We'll have to reach out to Greg because I don't have it.
But we're going. We jumped up 2 scores real quick. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like, oh, and they came back. Oh, wait a minute. So we're back and forth. And fourth quarter, we're down. We have to drive and score 2-point conversion.
Yes. Do you remember the conversation?
I'm kind of having my way with this guy now.
Mm-hmm.
Like fourth quarter. Well, actually, it's overtime. We got the ball first.
Well, let me tell real quick. Fourth quarter, we come from behind. Like I said, 50-something seconds left. The guy's flexing to the sideline, basically at me, saying we're the undefeated killers. And Flash breaks one. We end up getting it. We score, right? So there's no time on the clock. and their coach freezes and calls a timeout. Okay. And we're down by 2. Their coach calls a timeout. We're out of timeouts. Their coach calls a timeout. So I walk out to the huddle and I said, all right, guys, we can throw a slant or we can run it. What do you want to do? Everyone to a man said, let's run it. Everyone to a man. And we score a 2-point conversion, taking it overtime. Flash takes the opening kickoff to the crib. Or, I'm sorry, opening sweep to the crib. We run one play.
No. You're not about to take my glory from me.
Okay,
That's
all
why
right.
we need this film.
Okay, that's why. I figured there's something else going. I figured there's something else in there, but I'm just saying. Flash takes it to the crib, and we.
I kid you not. It's like a 30, whatever it is, 40, whatever. It's right here. It's right on my left side. But basically that side basically you can go anywhere from here, that side. Mm-hmm. And initially, Anthony Smith is his name, the lineman. Initially, he lines up in a hole. I'm like, oh shit! I know I'm not moving. He shit. Got him! I got him! I can't wait to snap this ball. I can't wait to say it. I like got my shoulder, like got his arm up. Touchdown. Because I felt Flash freeze. And he cut back. Because this is why I can tell you it was a sweep.
Oh, it wasn't a sweep. Okay.
And he came right back to our sideline.
Gotcha.
As soon as I got like, touchdown. And we just turned around.
Yeah, first play. It was like slow motion. And actually, I actually screwed up because what had happened was we were actually about to lose because they were going to kick a winning field goal, and TC blocks it and takes it to the house. And then we score the 2 to tie it up. So that's what it was. TC, I forgot he blocked. Dude, it was, that game was nuts.
But like I said, he's not going to let you take my glory.
But no, that was a hell of a block because it wasn't that. Listen, that play's not designed to go to the house. I was going to try to run the ball down their throats because
as soon as he offset,
you know it was a wrap.
Snap the ball, said and I told him, I asked him, Anthony Smith, I said, touched him. I seen him, I felt him freeze. Yep, he bent it back, touched him. We just sat there and watched. But neither one of us moved.
When he hit that hole, I remember it was like slow motion. I'm just like, oh my God, he's gone. It was just.
And look, soon as this dude went from here to here,
you know it was a wrap.
Oh my God! Hurry up! Say up the boy. Hurry up! Said got him.
That's funny. That was game was phenomenal. We got to find that tape. Somebody's got to have it. Hampton Roads has to have it. Somebody has to have it.
I'll ask him tonight.
Somebody has to have it. That was a great game.
We got cool talking on Facebook. Like, yo, I thought you was messing with me, man. What you talking about? It's like fourth quarter. I'm tired as hell. You coming to the line rapping. I remember the song. Move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out. That was. It was in my head, and I'm told you, like, say, just like I should tell them in flag and all that. You had your studs, but fourth quarter mine. How do I know? Because I'm gonna make you work this whole game. And when you out of steam, I still got stuff.
That's one thing. When Tex came in, he was definitely, he was undersized. That's why he went to center, but he was by far, most in shape lineman, if not top 10 in shape people on the team. I mean, it was, so that was never a question.
After that, like say 11, 12, it just wasn't the same. Like I bought the business from, I had a partner. We bought the business from Josh. So there's my trainer. There's my real motivation. I'm doing enough to, I'm still in decent shape, but I'm not the shape that I was. Mm-hmm. Like, it just wasn't the same. It's still not the same.
Well, being in shape to compete's different than being in shape to stay healthy too. It's a kind of a different mindset.
It was like to compete was everything. Like, like say that the same drive I had when I was keeping my helmet on to get in the game is the same drive I had at the end. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and like one person I blamed for a lot of my I won't say turmoil, a lot of my problems at the end, but after looking at it, it's really not. I blamed Alan Ladd. I blamed him a lot.
Yeah.
I blamed him for always blaming me for stuff. But I wasn't doing what I was to be the person I was at the beginning. So I will have to apologize to Ladd. Like he wasn't seeing what I felt he wasn't seeing what I could or couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I wasn't doing what I was doing to be in the position that I was. And so yeah, I will apologize to him. Because yeah, I blamed him. I blamed the hell out of him. One day
Well, I mean, for someone who doesn't know you, and I knew you from years back, and I've played against you and seen you play, so I kind of had a history. Some dude, that was Al's first year with us, right? So 2010. So I mean, you get a dude off the street and you see a guy that's I sarcastically say 5'4", but he's 5'8", 5'9" with his cleats on, and he's weighing at that time. I think you said you were 2.25. You're not your prototypical. I mean, that's a fullback. That's not a starting center at any level, right? Maybe starting center at JV, but at that level. So I think what happens is you have so much to overcome. Plus, you're older, right? Here you are. You're up in age now.
31.
How old were you then? 31. 31. So here are a little bit older. You've got younger cats that are big dudes. Now, whether or not they're better than you or not. So, again, I enjoyed coaching you. I never had a problem with you. So
The Southern Tier team,
yeah.
like the first play from scrimmage, our first offensive play, they line up. They're going to blitz both A gaps. So now I could call the line down. I'm like,
basically a wedge block technique.
So, but I just turned sideways in the hole. I turned sideways. I took a beating. I wound up a couple yards back on my back, but they never blitzed those A gaps again. They left that alone.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why too many teams didn't do that to us, other than the fact that they were scared to death that Justin and Flash and Smurf could kick it outside and be over. Yeah.
And then, like, say, if you blitz the A's, if you're going to blitz the A's, I'm going to hit the closest person, the person I feel got the. I'm going to hit him, and then I'm going to get whatever backside help you got. So basically, if he get past the front line, it's touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like I was killing him.
Well, yeah, you take two linebackers out of the middle of the field against those running backs, and the game it's over. So what are you going to do, right? So
and it's like, say, I was hitting a lot of these linebackers head up. It's not like, say, I was blindsiding. I was coming like full speed, bang! Oh, got him. Got like I hope someone finds that film.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I'd love to see that.
They like shifted the line. They moved Anthony Smith out.
Mm-hmm. They had that big linebacker too. I forget his name. They had that huge linebacker, wore the single digit number 4, I think he was.
Dread.
Yeah, Dreads. Yeah, he looked like Terminator.
I wanted him so bad.
Yeah, he looked like Terminator. He could move. He was huge, but he could move too.
That's why they kept he was their fullback also.
Yeah, right.
That's what he ain't had no more steam.
Yeah, I think it was a team
line once.
Yeah, he might have been the team owner or something too. I forget his name.
They shifted the line, and I forget what play we was running. Odd chop 78, so smooth. He didn't know what me and him. He didn't know about the chess match we had over here that I was getting butt kicked. But every time I went to chop, he told him one way. So 78 really not paying attention. And I'm like, okay, yeah, God, so good. His face mask hit the ground. I was sitting there laughing, so he kicked me. I was like, wow, really?
Oh, that's
you
fun.
know what? They switched back and they never switched again.
Oh, there you go. So what year was your last year on the field?
Like 13, maybe.
So the year they won it, when I was just the owner, I had to step away because of work.
I didn't even go. I was like, say, one time I went to catch the bus pulled right up. I was like, I know they see me. I know they. It's like I just ain't have the same enthusiasm, and I don't want to bring nobody down. Like I'm not the guy. She be playing. I'll sit there. I'll hold a little powwow with the rest of the people that's not in. But I mean, I'm not going to try to disrupt the flow of the team.
Right.
That was
Right.
it.
Well, that was a weird. I mean, when I came in, it was kind of a weird time
Back then.
because you guys didn't want to hear it, but there was transitioning going on where there were young dudes that were better than the veterans. So I came in I played against some of these dudes that were still good ballers, but we had younger dudes that were better. So I played them, and it didn't go over very well. I'll be honest, it didn't go over very well.
The fact that you just played them, it's like, say, who was it? Booty, Germ, and who was the other guy? It wasn't Flash. Booty, Germ, and somebody. They had good games, and you got rid of the captains and you made them captains.
I made them captains.
Yeah. That was like, for myself. I can't actually speak for the other captains. That was like a kick in the nuts.
Oh, was it Mel?
I still assumed the role as captain as much as I could to help out, like say when I felt things they needed it. But yeah, that was like a huge kick in the nuts.
Yeah, see, I don't remember that part, but I believe you. I don't remember that at all. But
Germ, Booty, and I forget who else it was.
probably why do I always forget his name now? Him and Germ were tight as tight.
Yeah. I can't think of it either.
Jeff.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey Lott. So
it's like saying, wow.
Well, I think in retrospect, I think I pushed so hard for the younger players because there were some that, and good, they were traditionally great dudes. I mean, Rashad Porch, Dykes, these dudes were legends. But
yeah,
it was.
It's like say, for me myself, it's like you got to show me that you're better than me. Like say, lad fell in love with Big Brad. Fell in love with Big
Brad Rose. Yeah.
No, not Brad Rose. Brad Rose is a beast. Brad, I count those. He's the band guy.
Oh, the center. The guy plays bass guitar. Yeah, I know who you're talking.
Brad just had to have. I'm like, so put me in at guard, right? Put me in at guard. I forget who we were playing. Who were we playing? Not Watertown. That was another one. Put me in at guard. Okay. Hey, you got to chip this guy because he's in this hole and we're running this way. You got to chip him. Nope, I'm going to get the linebacker. Are you kidding me? So he's so sad. I go to block him and I'm riding him, and they run right to the play instead of cutting back. I'm doing the best I can. So they take him out, put Redbeard in. I can't remember what his name was.
I call him Redbeard. Yukon Cornelius is what I called him.
He was center.
Right.
He's playing center. And Larry. Dick Larry's his name. Same play. Exact. Set up. Boom. Got him. Nice game. Like, that's all he had to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he had to do. Or the other time, what's 79?
79.
Ours, he always played with us out of town.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Watertown.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names, man. But yeah, I'm friends with him on Facebook too, and rap with him all the time.
Anyway, am I playing? Yeah, playing center, and he's lined up in his hole. Got Topper here before he lost all his weight. Hey, you gotta hit this guy. He's like, nope. Hey, you gotta hit this guy. You gotta hit him. Nope. Said hut. He cuts that way. I just grabbed him right in front of the ref. The ref is looking at him. He's like, that's holding, right? Yep, he goes back. I grabbed him.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. So you play up till 13-ish. We win the title. I say we because I was still the owner, but I wasn't on the sideline. So we win the title. I have to disband the team because of my job. Melissa didn't want to run it anymore. She did a great job while I was gone. She basically was the coach and the GM and you name it. So there's a year without football. Everybody disbands. They kind of go in different directions. Then the hoodie you're wearing, we talked about this before. Gorman gets approached. Well, he gets approached by Leroy because Leroy approached me. I wanted to help, but again, I was running a dealership, so I didn't have the time. So I said, hey, check with my man Gorman. He loves the sport, and sure as shit, Gorman jumps on board, and so now you guys run off and win a couple you win a national title, you win a bunch of league championships since then. So COVID kicks you out this year, obviously. So you're a coach, right? I'm assuming some sort of line coach at some point.
I have coached. Unfortunately, I didn't fit the direction the Strong wanted to take this year.
Okay.
And I don't see coaching nowhere else. I mean, that's who I was with. That's who I was with. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'll still go to games and stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
I have no desire to.
Well, hey, you got me fired up that one day when you sent me a message, said, I heard you're starting another team back up in Syracuse. Hey, now wait a minute. No, that's not true. If that's not true, I would not do that. So, but
like, I don't know. Like, I honestly believe, like, a year or so ago, that I could play. I believed I could play. Then like arthritis, knees, something. I was playing indoor. About the time I finished the game, I'm crawling to the car. Ankle on this one, the knee on that one, but then like the next day I'm doing back squats and stuff. So like,
listen, there's days, I'm now 48, and there's days that I go, my body's like, yeah, bro, you can still play. And then there's days where my body goes, dude, you just got a muscle cramp tying your shoe, for Christ's sake. You're not going back out there to play ball. So I think for me, I'll always have the itch to throw the helmet back on one more time, just always. But I also have the reality to know that bones break a lot easier at almost 50 than they did when I let go 10 years ago.
yeah, I don't think I ended on the way that I would have liked to, but I can't say that I left it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're and listen, so we're gonna wrap this up. Again, number one, you're about 3 hours deep with me between the first one we tried to get started, and then the second one that we lost an hour and 10 minutes of, and now this one here, we're $1:25 in. So listen, throughout my career, you're one of the better dudes that I've ever met in the sport. You're honest with it. You're honest about yourself. You're not one of those cats that was, thought he was better than he was. So I always appreciated that. Again, I appreciated you helping me when I took over the Shock. You had a ton of recommendations. You had a ton of, hey, let's try this, let's try that. Again, I was new at it, so obviously I made mistakes along the way, but it was nice to have, someone with some equal experience, if you will, as far as playing time, playing years, to lean on and listen to. So, I appreciate keeping in touch all these years. We've always, banter back and forth. We're both Cowboy fans, so that's always nice to throw that. That's right, boys for life. So, I really appreciate you spending, almost 3 hours with me today. Between all of us, and I'm glad we finally got this thing in.
And like say, okay, you say 3 hours, but it's never like a point where we're sitting there like struggling for.
Right. Well, we could talk forever. I mean, we could just keep this thing going. I mean, between two of us, we got 30 something years of semi-pro ball. So I mean, it's or more. So it's
I got stories today.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, once I get through everybody, we'll have a follow-up show. Maybe we'll just focus in on like one or two, experiences, and we'll have you back on for sure.
And Hanky, I wasn't that guy on the sideline crying about playtime. That wasn't me. I was never a disruptor.
And I'll back that up, Hanky. I don't under my tutelage, I never ever had to worry about him during the game requesting playing time. After the game, different story about his suggestions, but he played a lot for me. So I didn't.
You're like, I need a lineman. I need a lineman.
He played a lot for me, so I don't really remember. I don't remember you being a problem at all, really. So, but other than that, again, I definitely appreciate you, Hanky. Watch yourself. But Tex, appreciate you.
I need a lineman. That's a true story. I swear to God.
Listen. I've seen it happen to other players at other positions, so I definitely know that that's a true story. So, again, we'll get this out. Appreciate you joining us, guys. Appreciate you bearing with us for this week, and sitting a week out, and hopefully you guys enjoy the show. Tex, appreciate your time, buddy.
Hey, appreciate it.
All right, buddy. See ya.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Semi-Pro Gridiron Rant. We hope you enjoyed the show. For more episodes, please check out the website at www.semiprogridironrant.buzzsprout.com. To reach us directly, please email us at semiprogridironrant@gmail.com or follow us on Instagram at Semi-Pro Gridiron Rant. Thanks again for listening.